Welcome back, everybody. Episode 17 of Chaotic Exposure.
Woof.
So glad, woof. So glad you guys are still listening. Those of you that are, you're the real ones.
Yeah.
Man, let's take a shot.
Please.
Let's drink.
Let's
Ready?
do it.
Again.
Cheers.
Go. Oof. Wow, Neil's still going.
There's still a little left.
Oof.
I poured like 4 fingers.
There's Dragon with his boobies shaking again. Alex is missing it.
We're back.
Round 2.
We're back. Last episode.
What?
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
I'm excited to be back on
Avatar.
Tuesdays and kind of getting back to like the rhythm,
Yeah.
It's amazing what 1 week of delay can do
Mhm.
for weeks, right? Because and so it feels normal. I feel like I'm in my routine. How are you guys?
Yep. Good.
Somebody asked me to take shots before I ate, but in all
Yeah.
fairness, it was like 2 p.m., so I should have had something. But it hit me like a brick wall.
Yeah. I was in
I went to Costco
That person was
to
me.
buy foil because we're being attacked by aliens.
There it is. Dragon's afraid he's gonna get probed by aliens.
Dragon has been on one with this conspiracy stuff lately. Have you noticed?
Not a conspiracy.
It's so funny.
It's
It's
UFO.
so funny. He keeps coming into Discord with like fears of being probed and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I shared that GIF that shows the what's his name and the 2 kids from Signs sitting on the couch with foil, and I'm like, asked him
Like
today.
you.
I'm like, did you get more foil? And he's like, that's why I went to Costco.
Yeah. My blanket is lined with foil now.
No, it's not.
That's when I'm vulnerable. I'm kidding.
I
just put it on the ceilings, so it just covers everything.
Did he just say when he's vulnerable most? Oh my god.
I was the one that told Whiskey to take a shot. Just gonna ignore the foil for a minute. Just gonna move past that. And I also did the shot, but the problem is I had an important meeting that I had to be at for my full-time job.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really
That
taken
influence.
to an account that meeting. And I kind of forgot that I had to like demo this product and lead the conversation and explain how things work and who
no.
people are.
How'd that go?
It was a really long hour.
Probably more for them than you.
Oh my god.
Poor people.
Shut up,
Okay,
Dragon.
hold on. I got it. Hold on.
Just that Whiskey just went off camera. Let's show me your foil. Dragon, let's see it.
It's too big. It covers the whole ceiling.
The aliens did it.
It's like a tent.
I mean, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on lately. Mysterious lights from China, unidentified flying objects being shot down in Canada, poison being leaked in Ohio, foxes dying apparently.
Yep, it's scary.
Whiskey just left.
She's gone. The aliens got her.
Oh, this is going great. Chaotic Exposure, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
Oh,
What's
so
new with you,
I'm
Dragon?
getting a new puppy,
Yeah, you are.
and I'm excited.
Are you really going to name it what you said?
What did I say?
I think Chevy or something like that.
Oh, shit. No. It's a English Springer Spaniel. Pretty cool, like family dog. And I'm excited. It's gonna be. I think we'll get him Saturday.
What are we talking about?
Aliens.
We're still talking about aliens?
You left. This is what happens when you leave.
Listen, guy, I said I had to pee.
try to keep going, but Neil shut down.
Oh, what? He's still drink. You both are still drinking. This episode's gonna be amazing.
High quality content.
This is what happened last week.
Are you excited for Dragon's puppy?
Yes, I'm excited for Dragon's puppy. I miss the puppy days. I don't miss the potty training part, but like the puppy breath and the little puppy snuggles when they like sleep on you, so much better than baby.
I'm trying to figure out like how many dogs is too many dogs because I want more puppies.
If you have to ask that, you probably
It was all fun and games until Hazel decided to stop sleeping in Maddox's room and sleep in my room on my bed. Because Hazel is far too big for that nonsense.
Oh, yeah. That's what Ford does. And you can't get him to stop once it happens. So, like, he
and Rory does. Rory's no problem. Rory's about Ford size.
Wait, so you have both dogs in your bed now?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, yeah. You don't need any more dogs because they'll train the new ones to do that, too. Oh, my gosh. So, can we talk about how Dragon stood me up last night?
What?
Yeah, he did.
What?
Scrabble.
So yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't play poker. Yesterday, Neil will say, yesterday was a busy day. And I don't even know everything he did, but it was a busy day.
Thank you.
And I did not get, well, I think I got everything done, but it just was all delayed. So I didn't sign up for poker. I went ahead and like set one up for everybody, and there was a really good turnout I saw. However, I got messages and pings that like no one was playing. Everyone was sitting out. I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things. Because I put in the work and no one shows up. So I'm like, why am I here?
And
so
the thing, they were in the chat, like
they were in the chat, but not playing poker.
Right before poker started, and then they just disappeared.
This is like corralling animals some days when you're trying to like never mind. Anyways, Dragon comes out and he's like, Scrabble? Because I didn't play poker. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, where do you want to play? I'm like, we can play in voice chat here. So I'm sitting in voice chat with Scrabble open, and I'm like, where? And I'm looking up, and he's in a separate voice chat in the same Discord with Scrabble open. I'm like,
no,
dude.
I can't see the other one. You took
what?
it out. Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see it right now.
Gosh. So we're in separate chats.
Yeah.
With our Scrabble open, ready to play for several minutes, and I'm like, dude. And then he says, "Oh, I gotta go." Like, what? You just asked me to play Scrabble, and then you up and dip. So I was like, "Okay, wanker," and he just left, and that was it. It's like, damn.
He did the same thing to me like the day prior. I said, "Hey, let's play Call of Duty Mobile."
Oh my god, you're the one that
I got hung, and I got hung up for like 15 minutes because I was talking with Chris about everything.
But okay.
And so I come back in, and he's like, "No, I'm just kidding. I gotta go." I'm like, "What?"
Dragon's a heartbreaker. This is rude.
He is. It is rude.
He had me sitting there waiting for him for like 30 minutes.
You like how I had him sitting there for 30 minutes, but
I was sitting there for like 30 minutes.
Whiskey,
and I know,
Whiskey wasn't.
I know why. I know it was 30 minutes because I kept checking the friends, and it was and it had a timer to log in. So I was waiting for the over 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm sorry.
And then after that, I was like, "Oh, I'm done."
Wait, Whiskey, what? I wasn't even playing Call of Duty.
Not Whiskey, Dragon. Dragon stood me up. Is what I meant.
Oh. Damn.
Why has Dragon got to break our hearts, Whiskey?
Okay, so
I
bought this puppy bed for one of my kids.
What?
No, I'm kidding, for the puppy. And so I have Becky, that's a medium-sized dog, and now she's using that small bed. She doesn't want her bed.
Wait until the puppy wants her bed.
Yeah, I bet that's gonna happen. Puppy could be in the big bed.
They'll probably share a bed. Once she gets used to the puppy, she'll love being around it.
Rory is a lemon of a dog. He's just generally allergic to life, and like every month we have to go to the vet and get either some prescription pills or get him a shot or put an antibiotic. We We have special feed, and he just like will break out in one area, and he'll lose all his fur, he'll bleed, he'll get sores, and we'll fix
Okay.
it. Yeah, he's just such a lemon. But we got him after I was hospitalized because we were all horribly depressed in my house. And so it's kind of like how we coped with some of the stuff we went through at our house. But he's such a lemon. He's such a old man codger. Like he's just ornery all the time, and he's probably just not comfortable, to be honest. Like the latest place he's broken out is his snoot, like around his lips. He's got like sores, and he's like
Aw.
bleeding. Because he won't. Because what happens is like it gets allergic, and he just licks it raw, and then it like becomes a sore. Anyway, so we're always dealing with him. It's always a thing. His ears don't even like fall all the way down anymore because of how many ear infections he's had. He's just
Oh my
a
gosh.
freaking lemon.
Poor
And
thing.
anyway, so we get this new puppy, partly for my son, partly for Rory not to be alone. But what does Rory do? What is his reaction? Just hatred. Like anytime she just looks at him, she shows her his teeth, and just like she's bigger
Dang.
than he is. He's a Saint Bernard. She's a Saint Bernard, and he's only like a half Australian Shepherd, half Golden Retriever. So he's about 60 pounds, right? She's like breaking over 100, and just like fighting, arguing, never nice to her. She's trying to play with him, and he's just like snarling, trying to take a bite out of her. Just the worst. So all that to say, I have a lemon dog. His name is Rory. My family loves
Whoa.
him far too much to get rid of him, but
Now Dragon's like, great. Look what I have to look for. You just like described your situation with 2 dogs, and Dragon's face is like, okay.
I'm sorry. I'll just put the dog down. Like I'm not gonna let the dog suffer.
now I will say Rory isn't suffering because we're taking care of him, but we're spending like good like he's as expensive as our horses, and that is saying something.
I like how you say that Ford is bougie, but yet your dog requires a lot more than my dog does.
Yeah, but I don't get him pedicures for him.
That's not a pedicure, it's just getting their nails trimmed. That's called hygiene, sir.
Dogs
Maybe
don't
you
need
should try it
hygiene.
sometime. Your dog's nails need cut. We're going to do a poll on like what is normal and what is bougie. Cuz I consider a bath and a nail trim as normal.
Yes.
I'd hate to see what your dog looks and smells like, sir.
We actually do bathe our dogs. We actually do trim our nails. We just do it ourselves, like adults.
Oh, okay. Oof.
And
What type of water?
What'd you say, Dragon?
What type of water do you use?
He probably uses
just
bottled
hose water.
Hose water? You don't even give your
Yeah.
dog water from the house? Jeez.
No. Again, they're dogs. All right.
Oh my gosh. There's probably something in the hose water that's causing your dog to have a skin infection, and that's what it is. You're causing the issue.
Can I
Oh
tell
my
you something?
God.
Can I admit something that I do that's kind
It's
of
probably
gross?
allergic of emotions.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
admit it. No, go for it, because we're recording, so I need proof of this.
So when Rory gets up on my lap, because both my dogs think they're lap dogs, even though they're rather large. Hazel more so. She thinks she's a lap dog, and like again, she's over 100 pounds. Just not even a year old yet. But with Rory, his nails, yeah, I like to just get my finger in there and just break off the extra if I haven't clipped his nails recently.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. But I go right for it every time.
Oh my God. You're like a 2-year-old in a man's body.
I know.
Like,
I just rip it right off.
oh my, that's not normal. That's just.
It's not. It's
Oh
it's
my
in it. It's
gosh.
weird behavior, and I
It's
recognize
super
that.
weird behavior. Okay. Well, the first step is admitting you have a problem. So.
But like every time he gets on my lap, I go for his nails. I just start trimming them with my fingers.
Gross.
I don't
Moving
know
on.
why I do it. Yeah.
So Chris has some exciting stuff going on, right? This week.
Yeah, he
You wanna
does.
talk about
Thank you,
Chris?
Whiskey. Can I?
It's got to be better than talking about our dog's nails, right?
Happy
I'm sorry.
Valentine.
From the heart.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, Chris has a couple of really big things going on this week. That's super fun. Um, Starting with today, this the day the episode is out. Um, we are having Source Code to Freedom reveal in Benji's Peep Show space. Which, by the way, what a great name for a Twitter space.
Yeah.
Um, so good. But Source Code to Freedom is fully gonna be free and breaking all its cages out, and that is so cool because that's a song that Chris put together himself, and you're gonna have full access if you own one to the song, to the images it creates. Source Code to Freedom is kind of this interesting like dynamic where it's called Sketchy S is the code base that's built on, but like it reacts to the high notes of Chris's song, and so every time a note comes through that's high, it literally reacts real time to what it's hearing. And so every time you hit play on that NFT, it restarts and starts a fresh new reaction. And so people are going to be able to pull really, really freaking cool shots off of their NFTs if they want to. You like kind of one of the things I want to do in my office when I have it done is I want to like take a bunch of screenshots and like put posters of it all over my room, and like back to back. Like grab it like every 3 seconds kind of thing and like put them together. I think that'd be so cool. But I have the rights to do whatever I want with that. Um, Anyways, it's gonna be super cool. Friday, he's gonna be on our great friends Crypto Bros. That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome to see
It's gonna be fun to watch him
Chris
on
on
that.
there.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Chris does a good job of matching energy, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. Um,
Yeah.
when we get him on our podcast, we go to golden showers and nonsense.
It
But when
matches.
it matches. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what that looks like. It's kind of one of my first times not being directly with him on a
Hmm.
podcast since I came on his team.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit like I don't have any control, uh, which is fine because I trust the Crypto Bros and Holly, and I trust Chris. I mean, he's gonna do great. I just love that. So one of the things I've really loved about being on his team is I feel like I've been able to kind of push and advocate for people minting because Chris is never going to tell a single person where or how to mint his project. It's not a knock. It's just who he is. He's one of the most genuine, loving guys in the space, and he just is never going to like advocate for someone to spend money on his project. It's just not who he is, right? Like he's so kind, and um, so that's what I've liked being able to do is on these shows is be able to say, hey, go mint one. Here's where. Um, but I won't be able to do that tomorrow or Friday, which is fine. Um, and then on Saturday, our first workshop. If you want to know how to make your own NFT project, hold one of DeFi Elitism, hold the Source Code to Freedom, come into our Discord and learn how. Module 1, it's going to be all about generating the art, putting it together, how to create the art. It's going to be kind of that first step in an NFT project, the concept itself. And so big week. I mean, we have a big 2 weeks, honestly, but that's enough for now.
Yeah. That's exciting. The
You've been
sneak
killing it,
peek.
by the way.
Thank you.
You've been doing a really great job, Whiskey. Like,
I don't really know what to
what?
say to that.
Take a compliment. Stop yelling at me for not taking one, and you take it. She's been running the Twitter, and we've been throwing a lot at her. I mean, yesterday there was a miscommunication, and like I didn't think we needed a tweet at all, and poor Whiskey was like getting put on the spot and live in a space, and she's like, "Do you want me to put a tweet out?" And I said, "Sure, why not? Let's just do it." But like, really, she's been putting a lot of work into the Twitter of DeFi Elitism, and you should definitely follow that account.
Yeah.
I can't. I would look like a. This is how I feel about my job in real world too. I feel like I'm not someone that produces a whole lot. Um, I'm busy. I'm working, but like whiskey is the heartbeat of what I'm trying to accomplish with DeFi elitism, and she's been doing a killer job at the Twitter. But just giving you your
Thank you.
props.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I will say it's funny. With running the DeFi elitism Twitter and the chaotic exposure Twitter, and then my personal Twitter. It's like you do have to double check before you do something, because there's been a few times where I'm like, nope, wrong account, and then I switch over. Or there's times where like Dragon will be on the chaotic exposure one and he'll retweet something. I'm like, why the hell did you just retweet that? It's like I thought I was on my own personal one. I was like, you can kind of tell who's using it, but then like, yeah, it can get iffy. But then I realized like after Neil compliments me and thanks me, and I'm gonna bash him, he comes out and comments on a post that I made through DeFi Elitism's Twitter, and he comments, and his comment did not make any sense. Like his spelling was off, and everything was just wonky, and I'm like, this is why I'm running the Twitter. Oh my gosh. I was like, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
Yep. I low key like I am not. Have I ever told you I have a high school diploma?
Did you say why you have a high school diploma? Because you finished school?
No.
Oh Lord, there's a story here.
Dude, yeah. Do you want to hear it?
Okay. Yeah, I do now.
I mean, I don't have to say it.
Well, you kind of already started, so now we need to know.
So, true story. I struggle with English. I always have. I'm doxing a lot today, so here we go. I actually have dyslexia, and I have well, they don't call it ADD anymore. They call it ADHD. It's all one. But back in the day, they put you on Ritalin if you had attention deficit disorder. I have that full blown, like no questions asked. I fit the criteria, and I have dyslexia, so I struggle with spelling quite a bit. And my wife is a Canadian, and they spell words in English with a French spin, so it's made it even worse, right? I put like extra EAs, and I'm I'm from the Cajun country, so they do the same thing down there. My spelling is a mess. I struggle, and I honestly I would have dropped out of high school. I did drop out of high school, but there was a very important event that came through, and this is 2005 or six that it happened. Katrina came into Mississippi and blew up our spot. And I'm probably one of the first people in the country to ever be online for classes as a result. And because of that, these classes, this was like English 4, this was like biology. Like I was in all these courses that I never got passed in school that they just enrolled me into. And the only thing that was required was logging in and showing activity. And I literally was able to get all of my requirements done in this first iteration of online school. These COVID kids just have no idea what our childhoods were like with dial up and all that. But like I literally got a high school diploma through Hurricane Katrina. If that hurricane hadn't happened and I wasn't out of school for a month and a half, I would have never graduated high school. It literally changed my life for the better.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was also a teenage dirtbag, right? Like I could tell you how many grams are in an ounce, and I could break down an ounce real fast for you.
Oh
You know what I
my
mean?
gosh.
But that's just, I wasn't a student. I was, other things.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so going from that, Dragon Dragon got merch today. Can we just appreciate how adorable Dragon is with his beanie on? He looks like he's gonna fall asleep.
I wish we could appreciate it. He doesn't have it on.
I know. So you got a beanie, and then you got a what else did you get? A hat?
A hat.
They look
And
really
then
good.
I'm still waiting on the shirt and the hoodie, I think.
I feel like we're close. I think Neil and I have to get samples in, but then it's gonna be fun to start doing giveaways. It's cool to see.
I think it's gonna be fun to have a merch shop open.
Yeah, you can get a chaotic exposure shower curtain. I'm joking. I don't know why I'm obsessed with shower curtains. I
feel
mean,
like we gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, never mind. No, we're. Jeez, people ruin stuff, right?
They do.
Like
real
the
fast.
most innocent things are just ruined by people. It's just ugh. So, has anything else been going on? Misfits have chapter 2 getting ready to come out, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Trip is still alive. I was a little bit unsure.
What the hell? I mean, he's literally the hero. He is the main character.
He's the first one to get face planted on the ground. Oh, sorry, too soon.
That's a dick move. That's rude. He's the hero.
I'm sorry. I just find it
Rude.
funny that your favorite is the one that was on the ground, given your Boston experience.
One time, and literally, like, since I was a teenager.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that we know it happened, and Dragon and I will
That's my
always-
mistake.
Yeah.
That was my mistake. The fact that I said anything.
Yeah.
Should just kept my
Well,
mouth shut.
the fact that you even shared a picture, when you shared that picture in Misfits Discord, I was like, oh no, he's trashed. I just thought you were drunk. I didn't realize that you actually had a jacked up experience, which makes it 100 times more funny. But we'll
I was
never
going
let
through
you
my
live it
camera.
down.
I was going through a camera roll that night, and I took a picture of a shot before that.
Was it blurry?
A
was
little
blurry,
bit,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh no.
That's all I needed to know. Like, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. That's your night
Anyways.
right there in one picture.
Yep.
Oof.
We all have bad nights. That was
Mm,
mine.
Yeah, some more theirs, but that's okay.
Rude. Can't believe you called me Nancy.
I just love that Chris cracked up when I said it. He's like, she called you Nancy. Neil comes into a chat. So there's a chat with me, Neil, and Chris to go over stuff each week. And Chris and I got distracted, and I'm not going to explain what the topic was. And Neil comes in the next
Exactly.
work day. Neil comes in the next work day, and he's like, it's funny. I made this chat for, easy communication between the three of us to discuss business things. Of course we would talk about this in here. Me and Chris are like, oh, busted. Like there's just no chat that's ever safe. Yeah. That's what happens when you have people like Chris or Whiskey or
You.
Dragon or Neil. Oh, he's my
Me, I'm the perfect one. I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
I'm the innocent, easy,
Oh.
low-hanging fruit here. Like I am.
Ew,
I'm
don't say
just-
that. Don't you ever say that. That is disgusting. It's not good on any
You made
level.
it dirty, Whiskey.
No, I assure
thanks.
you, everyone that heard you say hanging fruit thought the same thing. What did you think, Dragon? Dragon's not even paying attention. He's like, why am I
No.
here?
Also, I'm a little nervous because I forgot about our conversations, and my sister is one of the most innocent girls on the planet,
That's
and it feels no, it's stressful.
We should put a like a discretion on our welcome screen. Like
We should.
some kind of like if you're not completely messed up and think dirty thoughts, you probably won't. I don't know.
Just put we're nothing but a low life.
That makes me feel terrible. I don't know how I feel about that.
I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia just to feel better about my life lately.
That's
10 out
funny.
of 10 would recommend.
Not
Oh.
3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. I will not go into specifics, but I got on Facebook the other day, and I never get on Facebook. I never get on Facebook. Like, I haven't been on in months. I don't use it, nothing. I get on Facebook for 1 minute the other day and scroll, which you know how I am about scrolling. I do not scroll. There's a reason why.
Oh my gosh.
The picture that I found
Oh my gosh.
wrecked my world. Like, it was like, I didn't even know what to say. And you know when you see something terrible, you have to share it with your friends, like, for them to suffer too? I shared that in our group chat, and Dragon deleted it.
He texts.
He texted you. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was bad, and I had
Yeah.
to show you guys. And Dragon shares this like puking emoji, and he's like, I had to delete it. It was so bad, and I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed for like 20 minutes. And I told him, I'm like, it's one of those things where you need your friends to see. And he's like, that's what best friends are for. And I'm like, damn. Like, just completely was like, I'm not even your friend. You shouldn't show me that. So then he texts it to you and I think to his wife. And it was, I'm not going to lie, it was bad. It was really bad. Like, I just don't. Oh my gosh. It's one of those pictures that depending on who you sent it to, you could lose a friend over. Like, it was bad. But then I'm like, wait, send it to Chris. Did anybody send it to Chris?
I deleted
No.
it. It's burned.
Yeah, I deleted it. And then I had to delete it from my deleted folder. You know how your phone has like the deleted album? I'm like, yeah, I got to go in and double delete that. I can't be scrolling and finding that again. This is why I don't get on Facebook. It wasn't even Twitter or something ridiculous. It was Facebook. The one thing that should be like innocent. It was tragic on a whole lot of levels. Whole is probably the wrong word to use there. Okay.
Oh, we have a guest coming on that I'm really excited about. I will just tee it up a little bit. I think what I'm excited about is a different outlook on how people can do NFTs. You know, like it doesn't have to be a manga or a fashion brand. It can be anything. And we're going to get a really good front seat of that. And so we're going to go grab her. And then, yeah, thank you guys for hanging in there. Yeah.
You okay there?
I'm still struggling thinking about picture. But let's get on to some more fun conversation because I'm sure everybody wants that. I'm gonna go burn my phone really quick just in case it's still there.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So we have Karen here with Flinch Experience. Super excited to have Karen with us. She is actually a OG Misfit from very beginning. So super excited. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing awesome, and thank you. I'm honored to be invited to share with the Misfit fam and Chaotic Exposure family, and it's just awesome to be here and to be able to share. Yeah, two of my very first NFT projects, that I joined in the same week. The Misfits and Flinch.
I didn't know that.
That's awesome. All right. So let's dive right in because I'm excited. I didn't know that was how you, or the same time frame that you got Flinch and Misfits at the same time. I didn't know that. So, we already established that you are OG. You were from the very beginning. I've known you since I got into Misfits. You are actually known as Mama Misfit still to this day. Like that's what we call Karen as Mama Misfit. So you are with the Flinch Experience. Can you go into like telling us about what that project is?
Yes. Like I said, it's now over a year. I believe that the week of February 1st is when I joined the Misfits and the Flinch Experience. The Misfits minted first. So they were like they were on the road to minting first. And I discovered the Flinch at that time, prior to rebranding, was Flinch NFT. And Flinch, I was able to watch the full-length feature film that Cameron Van Hoy, is the writer, producer, director from Hollywood, had made The Girl Who Didn't Flinch. So Flinch was a full-length feature film that he had already made just prior to the pandemic, and kept the IP rights to. He knew that, selling off to, Amazon and all of these others is, kind of death, and that NFTs and building a community around a film project was the way to go. was a new way of going, was a new way of building. He of being able to attract a community of supporters, NFTs, through NFTs, as well as that can also market and distribute and, you know, tell stories and have the full film experience of behind the scenes and getting to know what, you know, is happening in developing and what happens in the development of making a full-length feature film. So to be able to meet and talk to a Hollywood producer, director, writer, I was speechless. I mean, I was so tongue-tied. I didn't know how to talk to him. I was so nervous. I was just in awe to actually be able to connect up with the behind the scenes and a movie filmmaker. So I watched Flinch Part 1, which was on the Beam platform. They were doing collaborations with other projects. I believe we did one with the Misfits as well. Way back in the beginning, we collaborated with like Alien Friends and just a lot of big NFT projects. And to be able to build out and attract, you know, creatives to the Flinch project. And so we have story writers, we have directors, we have producers, we have, you know, just really creative minds that have joined the project. And so I fell in love with Flinch. I've watched it well over 30 times.
Oh, wow.
Bought the DVD. I have a movie poster. They have all sorts of merch. And I just loved the idea and really believe that, you know, Hollywood is broken. You know, there's Marvel, that's it. You know, there's Marvel and there's, you know, independent filmmakers and small filmmakers just don't have a hope in hell now of being able to be paid for what they earn and what they do.
Sure.
They don't have a foot in the door anymore. So Hollywood basically is broken, and building and making movies collaboratively within the Web3 space and utilizing NFTs is the next wave of cinema. So in March,
Can I ask a little bit about that,
absolutely,
Karen? Yeah,
sure.
uh, and this isn't. We're not like a super like. We have a lot of fun. I've already been pre-gaming. I've had a shot today, a couple shots today, if I'm being honest. We're having a good time.
Perfect.
But you know, that's a big statement, and I think it's worth asking a little more about it. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs. A lot of debate on whether or not that term should be used anymore. If we should move away from it. I don't really care one way or the other. But this token that gives you kind of access to whatever you're buying into, whether it be Flinch, whether it be DeFi elitism, Misfits in the manga, you know, whatever. Why do you think that is the future of cinema? Like, and what could get in the way of it? I mean, I'm genuinely interested because I think there is so many interesting use cases for NFTs, and personally, I'm far more excited about NFTs than I am about cryptocurrencies. That's not a knock on all the currencies. I know a lot of people and a lot of great projects, but NFTs are just so much more, in my opinion, like the return of impact on those are just far more direct and interesting, if that makes sense. And so I'm just wondering like why you say that and if you could go into it a little more, because I agree and I'm interested in what your opinion is.
Okay, well, that continue on with the story. Absolutely, and a great question. Our NFTs for Flinch, and you will see is, you know, I mean, I've sported the same one now since I minted it in May, at the end of May. I have IP rights to this, full IP rights. I can utilize this, and so can everyone else that owns a Flinch Experience NFT. What we as a community, because it takes time and money to make a full-length feature film and to get funding for a full-length feature film. It doesn't happen overnight. Flinch Experience is here for long term, and we're here. You know, we're not going anywhere. And what we as a community have now done is we are creating a graphic novel, a digital graphic novel utilizing our Flinch characters that we have IP rights for, and utilizing them to create this digital graphic novel. We've held audition spaces for voiceovers as well. So we have now just started, we're released as of yesterday or today, voting. So we first released it was called a Genesis, but it's now called a an executive pass. So that gave the holders, so there's two, there's our NFTs as well as our character NFTs, as well as a executive pass. The executive pass gives full rights to voting, to input in the storytelling for the full-length feature, to the graphic novel being able to, we're going to be able to, like, there's so much more. Oh my God. Like, the NFTs and the Genesis or the executive pass give holders a much, like, utility. And I hate that word utility, but that is what it enables, is to give utility and, you know, and the rights. So as an executive pass holder, we can vote, we can have say, we can have behind the scenes invites to films, passes to IRL events, and so on and so forth. The NFTs gives us the right to be able to still tell stories and lore, crime thriller, because we are a crime thriller franchise, utilizing our Flinch characters. So we have a community-based project that has been written, is being using AI to assisted to be able to create the graphics for the graphic novel. We have voiceovers, so executive pass holders can submit auditions, and executive pass holders can then vote on who is going to be the voiceover character for their particular NFT.
So really,
that
that
is one of
executive
the
pass,
utilities.
that's your membership to your version of a DAO in a lot of ways, right? Like, that's what you're saying.
Basically, yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then our
I didn't know that.
characters are, yeah. And also what we have done, and this is going to be released within the next few weeks, we have also built, and this is what Cameron Van Hoy has been working on the background, is he has created an Unreal Engine 5 movie studio backlot.
Awesome.
Full gaming.
Wow.
That he has already developed one full 3D Flinch character. It is a Mia.
Sorry, Kieran. I don't want to. I don't want to cut you off, but we need the bot. So we do have like questions that we kind of want to get with you, and I will say that I did get to see the movie. When you mentioned the Misfits and Flinch together, I remember us being invited to watching that movie together. And I'll admit, I was a little bit like, "Ooh, I don't know," because I'm that person that just never really gotten into your smaller films. And I stand corrected, because I was so drawn into that movie and I loved it. I would watch that over again. I mean, it was so well done. The cast and the way it was written, and it just like sucked you in. And I really did enjoy that movie. When you were talking about the different levels of the Flinch experience, there's a lot of things that are very parallel with the Misfits. So I wonder, like, is that something that drew you to Flinch as well? Was the fact that you have these certain levels of the IP rights and the DAO type voting on things, the involvement, the different levels like that you really don't see in every project. But there's a few projects that are around that either the three of us are like a part of, or that we're connected to, that have those similar things. So those are kind of important to us. Is that kind of what drew you into Flinch, per se, or was there more things there?
Well, at the time, because a lot of this kind of Cameron was new to NFTs, so it was learn as you go. The whole thing. I mean, a year ago, the NFT and building and in film and the whole film 3 was not coined until March. We are like the legends. When NFT NYC happened, they had panels, the legends, a legends panel for film and the NFT world. So Cameron was on stage, so we're part of the OGs of, the original part of the NFT film squad that is building out the foundation for all independent film creators within the Web3 space. So Flinch is very much a center of that. And then I joined the NFT film squad and got my pass, was able to go to the NFT film summit in October in LA. So we're growing, we're building the foundation. And so as far as, the different levels of NFT, it was more, it wasn't so much because I didn't understand all of that. Just like with the Misfits. I mean, we had the original Genesis Misfits, and we didn't know how that was all going to pan out and how it was going to go. Why I loved the Misfits was mainly because of the business mindset of the founders. I mean, those guys, their business mind and looking at this as a business, because I am an IRL business person. I build small businesses and run an admin for small businesses. So that's where I really, and I didn't even know how I was going to fit in with the Flinch community because I had no experience with film. I just knew I loved, Tom Segura, Daniel Zavato, Kathy Moriarty, Michael Dreyer, who is in Mr. Robot and played in Sneaky Pete. He was in our
freaking
Flinch. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Michael
Sneaky Pete
Dreyer
is one
was
of our
in our
faves.
Discord. I
Oh
know,
my
and
gosh.
I got to talk to him, and he's one of my buddies. I mean, like,
Oh, come
Oh my
on.
gosh. Hook us up, Karen. Let's go.
yeah. So, and Mike and Cameron would be doing, voiceover improv spaces, and they would do. Mike would do weekly actor lessons. So all of this was, to be able to connect up with Hollywood and watch TV, watch series on TV like Sneaky Pete and Mr. Robot, and to know that I can DM Mike whenever I want, and he tells me he loves me. Aw,
That's awesome. Aw.
and he wasn't too bad. He wasn't in LA when I was in October, because I would have just loved to have met him. But I got to meet Cameron, and Cameron is awesome. I mean, I talked to Cameron yesterday on the phone. I've got US calling now, so like they're friends, and to
That's
be able to
awesome.
be connected. So
Yeah.
it's that, I think, for myself, being just a film fan, was what
Mhm.
attracted me. As this is all developed and worked out, and we, getting to be a community manager, you jumped in as the community manager for Misfits. I kind of did as the main voice and community manager for Flinch, and started doing, the Jeremy and Big Love and I pretty much held down 2 mints you know, the genesis or the executive pass and then the character mint. In Discord, you know, that was like a week and a half of no sleep. You know, it's crazy when you mint. And if I ever hear when mint again, I will probably shoot myself.
I don't know. Win reveal is up there too. I mean, when people come in
Oh, is
Discord
it?
and say win reveal,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yes,
oh my
yeah.
god.
We had instant reveal. Yeah, no shit. Like, whoops.
No, it's okay.
What
This is
team are
a
you in, Karen?
Pardon?
We're the Misfits. What character is your favorite one?
I gotta say Trixie.
that's
Trixie?
fair.
Yeah.
At least it's
Yeah.
not Baz.
There's got to be
Yeah.
somebody.
No,
out
I
there.
was gonna go with Baz, but you know, King Six, I don't know, he
No.
intimidated me too much.
King
You know.
King just loves his Baz.
I know he does. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
that's
got-
I
something
like
that's
Trixie.
been cool for me with you going from Misfits to Flinch, and not that you left Misfits, but just with your time and your focus on the Flinch experience. When you were talking about not having, or your reason for going there and not really having the experience with certain parts of it, because that's real similar to a lot of the Misfits that came into the Misfits project. Like, a lot of us didn't have any experience with manga or anime, or I mean, I didn't watch anime until like 2 or 3 months ago. I mean, in full transparency, I didn't know what a manga was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was.
Same.
It was just
Yep.
the founders, listening to them in the space, the art that you were seeing, and then once you start getting into the community and engaging with the community, and you make these real connections. Like, I always get annoyed when people say my IRL friends. I'm like, what are those? Like like the fake friends on the internet? Like, Dragon and Neil like are my best friends. We've never met, but we are talking all day every day together. To me, they're way better than like whatever you would consider IRL friends, and that happened because of the Misfits. So there's like this connections and these friendships and all this stuff that comes from it. But when you get involved in it, it's not the same as where you are now. And I think there's a part of me that's watched you in this space, and you just took off. I mean, like, you just owned it, and you were like, hold my beer, I'm gonna do this, and you've crushed it. I mean, I just am wowed by where you're at and how much you've accomplished, and you just do your shit and get it done. And I just love that, because it's easy to get caught up in this space. It's easy to drown in this space or be faded out. And you didn't have any issues from the outside standpoint of watching you get to where you're at. And I just have to say, I mean, I've adored you since I knew who you were, like, back in the day. But I have so much respect for what you've accomplished, and that you're not done yet, and you just are keep going and grinding, and I just love it. I absolutely have all the respect for you. You've done amazing with this space.
Thank you. Well, I think, yeah, I didn't really realize, you know, my impact, you know, in this space of Web3, with not just Flinch, but the Film 3 community. That, you know, I started DMing and sharing spaces and sharing other Film 3 and connecting up, and you know, from a voice audition that we were doing for our community graphic novel, I had another Film 3 friend say that they were looking for, you know, a voiceover for their film project, and I referred, and one of the ladies I referred ended up being their lead voiceover character, and I'll be getting casting credits. You know,
Wow.
to
That's
be
awesome.
able to, you know, it's the collaboration and being part of the Film 3 community, and making this difference. It's gone from Flinch to Film 3, but when I was at the NFT Film Squad Summit, Jordan Bain, who's one of the the founder, like the grand godmother, we call her, you know, she says, well, we have the queen of Film 3 here. and Karen is number one, is in the audience. And like
Wow.
150, 200 people all turned and looked at me, and oh my God, and then I had all people lined up to give me hugs and just were so excited to meet me. And I never realized that, you're saying like you don't meet these people, but we get to be friends through Web3, through our NFT projects. And then let me tell you, take it over the top when you actually get to go to an IRL event and hug
Yeah.
these people.
My God.
It
If it
has moved
happens.
me to tears. I got to meet Big Love, and hang out with him and just, yeah, wander the streets of LA together till all hours and go for dinner and just, and I also, because of this, got to actually go onto the Never Alone Film 3 experiment, where in a matter of a couple of months, we were able, Sherry McCracken was able to bring together a group of creatives from around the world that wrote, produced, did the sets, and she invited me to be on the set of the very first Film 3 experiment, where when I was in LA after the summit, I got to be a scriptie on an actual film set.
That's amazing.
So, two things. One, it's incredible. Like this. This is why I love NFTs. Like your story is why NFTs are so freaking amazing. Because here Flinch says, "Hey, we want to do cinema different. We want to do theater different. We want to do movies content different." And it created an opportunity for people to believe in that and get involved in it. And there's nothing else quite this effective at being this decentral to allow people like Karen to come blazing in and make a big impact and show everybody what she's made of. And that is why I love this space as much as I do. And it's why I can't turn my brain off. I was just at home the other day, like talking about NFTs, and I was like, I know it's taking a lot of my mental space, but I literally can't turn it off. And so, what do we do about it? You know what I mean? Because it's just like the best, and it's stories like you that inspires me so much. Go ahead.
Exactly. Is, what you put in is what you get out. And if you want to come
Oof.
into this space as a flipper, that's what you're going to get out. And if
Amen.
and you're going to get rugged occasionally, and you're going to invest, and and there are film projects that have come in and they've taken some money and they decided that this is too difficult, this is too hard, and
Yep.
they don't want to put in the time, they don't want to. But I'm sticking with projects that, even through the bear market, we're still creating, because
Yeah.
that's what we want to do. We want to write and tell stories. We want to figure it out. Now AI, has come out. So, I mean, Big Love is learning Blender and how to make how to make a fish 3D, and we've got a voice now for Purple, and
Oh no,
for our
that's
narrator
awesome.
for our graphic novel. We hold spaces every single week. Like tonight, we're
Yeah.
having a chill and chat space where whoever wants to come in can just get to know each other, and we create relationships. We collab, we brainstorm, we get to know each other. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much here, and it's whatever. I mean, how big is it going to get? It's how big we make it.
Get it, Karen.
Yes.
You just went up like you're the best.
She was already up there, but then she this is why I love this, because we get to
Yeah.
really dig into like what people's feelings are in the space,
Yeah.
where they came from, how they got here. And when you're talking about like
Mm-hmm.
what you give is what you get, that's
Mm.
true. A lot of times there's times where you give so much and you don't get everything you should get back. But the people that continue regardless and keep
In there.
showing up every day, it's like it's inspiring, because it's so easy right now in this bear market to just be like, fuck it, I'm done. But it's not. I mean, like that
Mm-hmm.
it's not. If everyone, or if, what's the saying, like if it's easy everyone would do it, like that's just how this is. Like when you're talking about we're still here and we're still, doing things, it's the same thing with the Misfits too. Like the guys are still hard at work and they're doing what they need to do. And, the presence is still there when it comes to the socials and Discord. Discord's busy every single day. I mean, you see posts from Misfits holders in the community all the time. They just are nonstop with showing up every day and supporting, the community and the project that's being done. And I just love that because you're not finding that. And I'll tell you, Karen, you're going to be like really ashamed of me when you're talking about like rug pulls and stuff. So I have been really good with not putting my money into like shit projects. I went and bought an actual ass NFT off of OpenSea for like, I'm not gonna say how much I spent. Like that night, it went down to like 0.0001, something stupid. And I'm like, I got greedy, and there was like all this, like, I think it was the day after the feet pics thing. I'm like, okay, the ass pics thing has to just take off. So I bought an ass, and it is in my hidden folder now, and it will live there for the rest of my days. So I mean, we all make mistakes, lesson learned. But it makes you appreciate the projects and the brands and the communities out there that really are serving a purpose, and not just trying to make a quick flip. And I think that's why I like the slow minting too. When you have real people coming into your community and the mint is slow enough and you're getting those authentic holders that genuinely are there for the right reasons and not to make a quick buck, that's more important. I mean, I know you guys feel the same with having the right holders and it not being one of those. Oh my, I'm not going to name other projects, but there's other ones out there that show up and you see the floor skyrocket and then a week later it's just dumped. And I'm just so glad that the projects and the founders and the community that we've invested our time in has made it worth it. Like all the hard work, all the sleepless nights, all of that has just been worth it because you're still here and you're still, creating in this bear market.
100%. And one, it's purpose for me, 100% purpose. I have found a purpose here. I have found value. I am valued. I feel loved. I have relationships that I know are quality and will last for the rest of my life. And so how you can't pay for that. You can't buy that. And so that's where, we're creating, we're hanging out, we're having a blast every day. You're right. I go into Misfits and I just like, oh my God, you guys, you just never stop. And there's, 50, 60, 70 posts. And it's like, oh my God, like in my day, I'm holding, like we have a Film 3 calendar that people can, on my profile, they can go to my profile and see a calendar of entertainment and Film 3 spaces. And some days there's 5 or 6 spaces a day, and I'm trying to DM those spaces as well as interact and comment on every single space, and so plus I have day job, well, actually I work for 3 different businesses. So, I'm doing a heck of a lot of juggling,
Yeah.
and
It feels like you're preaching to the choir.
So multitasking, but you know what? My day is full and it has meeting. And you're right. Last night I woke up 3 times thinking about this interview. And I kept checking my phone because I knew and what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to share about. And I kept imagining this interview, this podcast. Because it's part of who I am. It's part of sharing. And I am just so honored that you asked, to share the Flinch experience, because it is something very special. What we're doing is very special. We're being able to make our own short films in Unreal Engine and then be able to build out our own IP and share on all the different
Amazing.
platforms. I am so impressed that Creative Exposure is doing, this Spotify thing. You guys are not just and like Tomo and Alex and Alex can still talk. Oh my God. Like this,
Yes.
I
Yes.
glad, I mean, I just love Alex and the jokes that go on in the Discord. I mean, I just love Alex to bits. And Tom, is just, I mean, those two men are legends. They really are. And their business mind and what they've done and the whole Misfits, again, why I love and my heart, and I will, yes, and it's how awesome to be Mama Misfits and Mama Flinch, I just love it, but also Queen of Film 3. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh,
Well, let me and I love all of that, but just to kind of focus on you a little,
okay.
because I do relate with you a lot on your drive. Um, in fact, I get a lot of feedback from people that don't know me. That well, I don't want to throw shots, but there's people that give me criticism for my level of work, because I have a full-time job, I have a part-time job, I have a farm, I have 4 children, I'm the community manager for Chris
Oh,
Bond. You know what I mean? Like I definitely juggle. That's
okay.
my life, so I get it. I'm with you. My part-time job is really a full-time job. Lots of moving parts all the time. So I get that. I get that drive, and I get the waking up. Like I said something stupid in our chat last night. Woke up thought about 3 times. Like why did I say that dumb thing? Like why did it come out? And I was multitasking. I wasn't thinking about what I was saying, and it just flew out. Right. But I think about, okay, this is what I've done. Now what do I need to do from here? And my brain's always working and never turns off. So I relate a lot with what you're saying at a personal level. But one thing that I did, and just a little bit of just a bit of background for you, Karen. Like I was helping. I started in Web3 in a cryptocurrency company, and that went horribly. So when Whiskey said sometimes you don't get back what you deserve, been there. Um, uh, yeah, it's just wild. Sometimes you put your hope into it, it doesn't work out, but then I went to help
Yep.
with an NFT project for a little while, and I loved them. But for me, I had a really good friend that needed some support around him, because he launched his own. That's Chris Vaughn, someone I'm sure you're aware of.
Yep. I
And so
know, I know, Chris. Yes.
yeah, so I went to be. I'm his community manager now to kind of really help him kind of build out his Twitter presence and Discord, and Whiskey's been helping me a ton on that. And she has a lot of work with Misfits, but she's agreed to help out quite a bit to make sure that goes smoothly, and I've been really grateful for her. But one of the things that I really discovered in that process was just home. Like I belong on Chris's team. This is where I should be, and I'm a full blown misfit. Anybody in the Misfits, I think, generally should know who I am because of how active and involved I'm in. Like I don't.
Yes.
Whiskey could maybe disagree with that. I don't know, but like everyone knows me for a
No.
misfit holder.
Yeah. You and Dragon both
but
have always been like 100% their misfits all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
Neil is
but
Team Bass.
Neil's
I'm
team
not.
best.
That's a
Okay.
lie.
Team Baz.
I'm Team
Okay.
Trip.
She
all
said,
day.
"Oh, okay."
No.
Oh, team
But
team
my
Trip.
point.
Yeah, he's
Team
Team
Trip all
Trip.
day.
Okay, team Trip.
And
Okay,
Team
got it.
Raven for the misfit villains. But
Oh yeah, Raven, Team Raven.
yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, my point with all that is just to say, like, I found somewhere that I just absolutely belong. It needs my attention, my time. It needs my drive and effort, and I wake up for it. I want to see Chris in his project be more successful than he ever thought it could be. It's where I belong, and you were a little more active with the Misfits as I was. As I was coming in, you were getting more involved with Flinch. I heard you a few
Yeah.
times, but I never interacted with you a ton. And I was also
Right.
just raw off of my departure from the cryptocurrency, and I was hanging in the back. I was only talking to a select
Yeah.
few, like Whiskey. But it definitely seems like you had an experience that was like that, and I was just wondering, what you would say. Like it seems like you found home. Like you're the queen of Web3, film 3, and you found your place in this whole world of Web3, and just wondering if you would agree with that and what your experience was, and yeah.
Absolutely. Like, for sure, Flinch. I mean, I tried changing my PFP around, when I go into spaces, and 90% of the time it wouldn't change fast enough. And I just finally got discouraged with this changing the stupid PFPs and Twitter, that I just, I kind of decided, no, that represents me. That is me. And Flinch is my home. I mean, I love the Misfits. They are like the Misfits, I guess I would say, is like my getaway, it's like my holiday cabin, it's like my holiday, like my heart is there too. And I'm so grateful, because without the Misfits, again, they're part of the core of why I'm here, because of seeing how business minded, and that they are part of the core of how you needed to apply the mentality of building a Web3 project. You needed to have IRL business mindset as well. And so I understood that, and that's huge respect for Alex and Tom and the community, and that you're part of that. And yes, absolutely, I wouldn't be in NFTs. I mean, I wouldn't be in Web3. Chris was part of the Needless community that, I started in crypto as well. And the Needless community helped me learn how to even navigate and open a wallet. I mean, they were the community that I found first, that gave me all the help I needed to be able to get into crypto. But then, sadly, I ended up having all my crypto stolen.
No.
I made the big mistake in December of trusting a supposed support person for a crypto project, and I ended up losing all my crypto. So that's when I really decided I'm not doing crypto. There's nothing really substantial for me to sink my teeth into. There was a lot of drama in crypto. There was a lot of backstabbing. There was a lot of really toxic spaces. And I just know this is not where I want to be. When I found the community and Misfits, and started seeing what the Misfits were doing, and I as well. The only manga I've ever written back to front is Misfits, and I have said that it is the only manga that, it's the Misfits is the only manga I've never even seen a manga show. It's still the Misfits is my manga experience and my anime experience. And I don't know if I ever will venture, because I am so knee deep into Film 3, but and Flinch. But yeah, Flinch is my home. Flinch is my community. It's my baby. And I feel very maternal about it. I will protect it. I will stand up for it. I believe in what we are doing, and our IP, our art, our mission, the making of part 2 and part 3. I believe in Cameron's vision for all the Flinch experience can be.
Yeah.
Did you guys get
And
shivers
we'll
just now? Because I did.
I'm telling you what, like, I told the guys, because I go through and we throw ideas of who we want to have on, and you were on our list for a while, and it was one of those things where I just kept dropping the ball. I'm like, okay, I really want to have Karen on from Flinch, but I didn't realize until talking to you how many similarities there are with you and with us, when you're talking about like the drama in crypto, and how that's, I mean, we all came from Safe Moon, and that's where we came from.
Yeah.
And I would run crypto spaces every day. I was up there, launching people for all kinds of reasons. I mean, you just had to be tough in that space. I mean, Chris will tell you, and he said it on one of his episodes, he was terrified of me because of how I had to be in my spaces. there's a different breed in the crypto space than there is in the NFT space, and you have to be tough. But there's a point where you're like, this isn't worth it. It's exhausting. And I feel like the NFT space started taking off, and I found the Misfits at like the right time. And I have no interest in being back into crypto spaces. I mean, I have a lot of friends still in the crypto space, and I still support them. But there's just something about the NFT space that I said I would never get into. Would never mint an NFT. I thought they were stupid. I would never join Discord. Would never had watched anime. Like all these things that like are my life now. And it's like you don't realize what's missing until you experience it. And then you're like, I don't even remember my life before this. But when you're talking about like Mama Bear and protecting and all this stuff, it's like everything that comes out of your mouth, I'm like, damn it, she gets it. She understands.
She just gets it.
Yes, because there's a part of you that like you work so hard and there's so many things that people don't see behind the scenes. And Dragon and Neil can attest that there's days where you just don't want to show up and it's exhausting. And you just feel like you're doing everything for everyone all the time. But there's so much reward to it at the same time. And you are very protective. I've told Alex and Tom both that I'm all in. I am fiercely protective over those two, even on days where you just want to like slap them around. There's still a part of you that's like, nope, don't screw with my guys. They're, don't, they're busy. They're doing what they need to do. And it's the same with Dragon and Neil. It's like you work with these guys and you are fiercely protective over them. The community shows up every day for me, so I show up every day for them. You're protective over them. Anything that hits, you're just like, you can sit down right now. You are not going to mess with this right now.
We'll tell you to sit down if you mess with whiskey. She's poured in her money, sweat, tears, pain, anger, frustration, every emotion imaginable. She is just like dumped into, and money, into making this a success. And so if someone steps up, Dragon and I and a whole host of other people would, and I'm sure Karen, you probably have that as well on your side. We don't deserve her.
No.
Exactly. And that's it. Big brothers, we've got people that back us. Absolutely, Whiskey. And it's because we've been there, for them. And I mean, it's real relationships, quality that have meaning. And you just didn't find that in crypto. And I didn't,
And this is why. Sorry, go ahead, Karen. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And then, like you asked, why NFTs and the meaning behind this is so much more. If people can hear, and I hope anybody that looks at a digital asset, if you want to name it as such, like Reddit went on this tangent about digital assets, and blew it all up. But it's not about NFT projects. It is so much more. And it is the PFP and the NFT is but a representation of the support for the project, for the founders, for the community, for the mission, for, the purpose of what we're doing here. And the ones that are still here building through the bear market are the ones that have a higher vision for what is possible here for everyone, every creative.
I'm actually a pastor, and I just want to start saying amen and preach it. So, Karen, you know what I think? I honestly, anyone wanting to know about NFTs should start with this episode. No matter who you are, what project you're in, you should listen to this because Karen's just dropping the heat and is explaining it so well. But you know why it is though, Karen? I'm convinced. Bitcoin is great. I'm not knocking Bitcoin. It's a relatively small supply in contrast to other currencies that are out there. It's like what, 1 billion, right? There's 1 billion Bitcoin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But compared to other cryptocurrencies, it's like significantly smaller of a supply. And you can have thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that all buy it and hold it and trade it and can have an opinion and can spout BS and not take time to learn or educate. But to buy an NFT, you're one in, 1,000 or 10,000 or 4,000 or 6,000, and that's it. And maybe even less, because like for me, like I hold over 60 misfits, and I'm about to start minting villains. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yep.
I'm not even. There's not even going to be 4,000 people in the community, right? And so you get to say I believe in this, and I'm putting my money into it, and I hold a stake of it, even if there's not IP rates, even if there's not a DAO, you still are saying I believe in this and I'm backing it. And that's something that
Yep.
is just unique to NFTs and is why I love them so much. And I get excited when you bring it up. And so thanks for bringing it up, because I'm like, yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Neil's excitement is one of my favorite things when we record, because he just, people can't see it, but he just makes these faces and he like gets so pumped, and sometimes he dances, and it just like it keeps us going.
Yeah, let's effing go.
You can say fucking. We do cuss on the podcast.
Oh, I'm not
We're-
allowed to, because that's
Obviously.
what. Yeah, that's what Cameron.
I-
Every time he comes into his face, he's let's fucking go. You know.
I feel like
I
we
always
should name
hesitate to
her
call out.
her episode that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I always hesitate to say I'm a pastor, because I don't want people to like let that be influenced. By the way, I think Jesus would have cussed too, just to throw it out there.
Oh my god. Oh my
Probably,
about the
god.
heart.
Absolutely.
I think so.
You know-
But cussing's allowed. This is chaos. So this is what we're here for.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
have a little bit of chaos in here. Okay.
Yeah, when Alex was on, I don't know what he said, and I'm like, "Whoa, sir, this is a PG podcast." He's like, "Oh, is it a PG podcast?" I'm like, "You obviously have never listened to an episode. Thank you for that." So,
Oh,
did you guys want to
Yeah.
throw anything else out there? Because there are some questions like more personal for you that I kind of wanted to ask.
okay.
Neil or Dragon, did you have anything before I went on to those other ones? Okay,
That was a really
so
cute
I
juice
wanna know-
box you were drinking there, Dragon.
a little juice box.
Juice box.
No, my daughter wanted some juice, so I always gotta take out the daddy tax.
So I want to know, with you in this film 3, if you could work with any actor and actress, one of each, who would they be?
The stakes for this
Well,
question are
I
super
mean-
high.
Oh
We
my
will be
God.
judging
Well,
you.
everybody knows the community that is my friends in Flinch and such. It's Kevin Costner. 100%.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I respect that.
100%.
Waterworld, one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are
Um,
going to be a little blown away too, because my girlfriend that I met through a finger golf game years and years ago.
Wait,
it's called
what?
Golf Clash.
Wait, what?
Wait, finger
We
golf.
got-
You've got to back it up.
Yeah, just-
I'm glad
Come
I
back
wasn't
to us.
drinking. I would have spit that out. Hold on.
Yeah.
There's a thing called finger golf.
Yeah, you play, using your finger, and you play golf. So I met her and YouTube streams, and became a mod on YouTube streams. It was kind of like my training ground to Discord, I think, and who knows why things happen the way they happen, right? But I
Yeah.
met her through this Golf Clash, and she was a camera loader. She grew up on set. And her and I became friends. We a lot of voice calls on Messenger and so on. Her dad was the cinematographer for Waterworld.
Wow.
Shut the front door.
You're talking.
Oh my
when-
gosh.
My childhood.
When I was in LA, I got to meet
Ugh.
Dean Semler. He also
on.
won the Academy Award for Dances with Wolves.
Oh my
God.
gosh. That's
He
dumb.
also, Kevin Costner, and he's done 40 other films. I have now, because of all of this, I am helping him publish his memoir of life and film.
Wow. Come on.
You know, I was just
People
glad
need
she
to know
didn't say
Karen.
Tom
And I got
Cruise.
to hold his got to hold his Kevin Costner Oscar, and I have pictures of me holding his
Oh
Oscar.
my
Wow.
God. Okay.
So, you know, that
Whoa.
is how all of this, you just don't know what
Mhm.
doors will open. We
Yeah.
are in here. We
But
are.
you step up and you try, Karen. You step
Yeah.
up and just do what you can and allow the doors to open. And that's the difference. Some of these people that come in this space, they'll never will. They just are going to try to make some money, and that's fine. We need them too. We need that
Yep.
liquidity. Come on in. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like you had all those experiences because you went out and did them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
that's
you know
not
what? That's the
a gimme.
benefit of being almost 63 years old. And I got not too much to fear, you know?
I love
I've
it.
been there,
So,
done that, you know? It's like, that's why I'm mama, you know? Is because, yeah, you're damn tootin'. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it a shot, you know? It's like, why not?
Yeah. You
damn
get up,
tootin'.
you
That's
show
the
up.
name.
Damn tootin'. That's what we
Damn
say.
tootin'.
Yeah, I mean, I respect anybody that's gonna show up every day and just give their all,
Yeah.
because that's not something that you're seeing. You see a lot of people in the space, especially the younger crowd, come in and they think they're just gonna make quick bucks, you know, get everything they need. And it's amazing to see how many people just in the last 2 years of me being in this space of people that you thought would be around for a while. They talk a lot of talk, and then they just disappear and you forget all about them. And the people that show up every day and they're still here, respect on that, because it's not easy. And yeah, it just, Karen just blows my mind. I'm so glad we had Karen on. I'm just glad she didn't
Yep.
say Tom Cruise. When she was talking about her favorite actor, I'm like, dear God, if she says Tom Cruise, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I want to know
I
what
really
your golf is.
Finger golf. Dragon's still on finger golf.
Is that a
There's
board
a one
game?
more.
It's on a mobile.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
mobile golf game.
Where all I go?
Or iPad.
Oh,
iPad
okay,
works
hold on.
better.
I gotta look this up.
Can we play
This might-
together?
Called Golf Clash. It
Hold
sucks
on.
your money. I spent way too much money. And I have all these stupid
Never
special
mind.
balls. But, you know,
Special
again,
balls.
you know, the special balls, you know, that cost you money in order to be able to make the shot. Yeah, I spent, I don't know, 3 years on that stupid game, you know, and spent way too much money. And what do I have to show for it? An account with a
balls.
lot of special balls, you know.
That's your title right there. Special balls featuring
Special
Karen.
balls.
Special
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, you
Karen,
know, but it
you-
connected me up with Ingrid, you know,
Yeah.
and another friend in Australia who I will have now for the rest of my life, and other people, you know. So it enabled, and it gave me the training ground. I had 4 devices at once moderating 4 different Golf Clash streams at once.
Wow.
that's a lot.
So that
So you
gave
were
me
you
the
were
training
you were
ground
ready
to be
for
able-
you were ready for
was.
community building and NFTs. That's what that tells me.
This is massive
Well, and I
multitasking.
had no idea
Yeah.
that was all going to be part of the big plan, right? We just don't
Yeah.
know. We just got to be willing to do it, right? And we don't
I-
know what doors are going to be open.
Yeah.
I really do want to hear the answer to that one question you have there, Whiskey. And given that I don't know if you like Waterworld, you didn't say that, but you know what it is, and you are about Kevin Costner, so I suspect that you do. But I am interested to know like what your top 3 movies are. That's Whiskey's question, but I before we run out of time, I would love to have that. I'd love to know because I bet they're awesome.
Okay, well, I mean, I've got to say Flinch because Flinch has a personal. I mean, absolutely.
Okay, let me
Flinch.
let me put that caveat aside from Flinch. Let me say that.
Oh,
She's like,
aside
well, you
Because
didn't
from
say that.
yeah, okay. Oh, you're mean. Well, you know, it's okay. So The other has got to be Dances with Wolves, you know, because I know, you know, I have the connection. I've got a personal connection with that film, and the making of it, and I love it. And absolutely, I mean, Waterworld is brilliant, and I know so much about the behind the scenes of how it was made, because knowing the cinematographer. And I've got to say, the other one that I've got to see the rough cut screening of it, and it is the first NFT funded film, Web3 film, and it's called Caladita.
Okay.
And it's Spanish, but subtitled. It was brilliant. When I was in LA, I got to see the rough cut of it. It's amazing. And I've got to say that that's got to be one of my favorites. It's just very impactful, and I can hardly wait till it actually
I
finishes.
mean,
and
the
comes
queen
out.
of film 3 has to throw it down like that. I get that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the leaders and the filmmakers that are really, you know, striking it out and bringing it out. As far as Hollywood films, I don't have a favorite. You know, I can't. I have. There's just too many. You know,
Yeah.
there's just too many. I've been a film
I get
buff
that.
my whole life. You know,
I can
it's
relate
just
with that
too
as well.
difficult.
These clowns on the sides of us, on the sides of me here, they just don't care about movies. They just troll
Whatever.
me all day.
Whatever.
It's the worst, Karen. It's a hostile work environment.
You're so full of
I'm
shit.
just giving her.
It's not. It's okay. So he wants
Wow.
us to watch Ted Lasso all the time. That's all he wants us to
Because
watch.
it's incredible.
And I grew up watching movies. I love movies. As I've gotten older, my thing is I don't like making the commitment. It's a time commitment, and I don't like making the commitment to a movie. I would rather like have a basketball game on, or like have a TV show on, or something in the background if I'm working in the evenings or something. But like movies are a commitment right now, and Neil just doesn't get it when it comes to like certain things. But Dragon and I will like binge on Chainsaw Man. So
That's so jacked.
oh, we love you, Neil.
I do, you know, series. I mean, like this weekend, I kind of just turned off. And that's a strange thing. And it took me a while to get used to it, because I know the Misfits weren't like this. Misfits will go all weekend long, you know, and crypto goes all weekend long. There is no kind of downtime. With the Film 3 community and the Film 3 projects, it is really interesting that come Friday night, things slow down. Friday afternoon, things slow down. They take the weekend off, pretty much. And they start up
That's
again
like
Monday. You know, there's a couple of projects, like Block of Horror, that, you know, and Crypt TV that are on YouTube. They have a weekend space for the development den and story writing and stuff like that. So, you know, that's good. There's another project that I just recently got into that I'm absolutely loving. It's the Knights That Say Nah. They're preserving ancient artifacts and storytelling and game, and just they're doing something that's so totally revolutionary, using 3D modeling of their ancient artifacts that are end up like the one that I just got is going. The ancient artifact is a samurai sword, and it's being donated back to the Metropolitan Museum. So if you own that NFT, you can actually then, it's like a token gate to get into the Metropolitan Museum. But they're preserving ancient artifacts, so learning about different cultures and ancient cultures. And so but they kind of take the weekend off, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's when I do my binge TV, you know?
Well, maybe
And
maybe you'll be Neil's favorite now because you guys can talk film and stuff. Apparently,
yeah,
we're just not getting it.
like The Expanse. There's a project in Film 3 from The Expanse.
I love that
See,
show.
He's speaking.
Oh,
Look at Neil.
that's
He's
a
so
good show.
Well,
excited.
they have it's Kino, Kino. They're on,
Yeah.
and they have an like I
You
go
send
to
that
the
to me?
space all the time. Absolutely, Neil. Yeah, I'll.
Please.
Well, you should DM me. DM me. Karen is number
All
one
right.
on Twitter. You know,
I'm
DM
done.
me, and I'll send you their link. You know, to their
I
space.
love
It's
that show. It's so good. It's so good.
and all of the
Um,
actors have been on. The cinematographer was just on last week. Yeah, for the Expanse. Yeah, so Stephen will be on here, sharing about it, and yeah, so that's it is so cool to rub arms, with all of these amazing creators. They're
yeah.
doing something in an area that we have only had a glimpse of through a TV screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love TV
And
so
that's what
much.
excites me.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
now with the backlot movie studio, we're going to be able to go in and actually direct our own film by moving the camera, learning how lighting works,
Oh,
learning how from other directors in the space, and learning how to do all of this.
That's exciting.
The education, you can't pay. And that's one of the things that Cameron said right from the very beginning is people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a film education.
Mhm.
Well, we can learn from each other
Yeah.
right here in Web3.
Yep. Well said.
Karen, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, Whiskey.
No, I was just gonna say that I think we reached our max. We have to let Karen go
Yeah.
now. But
Thank you so
yeah,
much for being on here, Karen. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure
thank you.
to talk to you.
yeah,
And
definitely
anyone,
enjoyed it.
if you have any other further questions, I'm on Twitter. Karen is number one.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you.
This was awesome. It was so good to catch up with you. You just do things right. You inspire. So thank you for everything that you're doing in this space. And I think that's it for episode 17. I think that's it.